I'm going to show you how to make a lemon oil cake and bake it without using an oven. So I'm going to go through some simple steps for you to just go through so that you can follow through simply. So when you are baking without an oven, there are many ways that you can use. So we are just going to use just an ordinary pot, and I'm going to show you how you can bake with this ordinary pot. So the 4 ways that you can do this is either fill your pot with clean sand like river sand just to cover the base of the pot. Then you place your baking pan on top of the river sand, or you can place some stones, small stones in the pot just to cover the base of the pot, and then place your baking pan on top of that. And then the third one is you can just get like an old stove top, or just a simple flat like a rack, so that you can place on top of the you can place inside the pot, and then you place your baking pan on top of that stand inside the pot. And then the 4th way, which is what I'm going to be using today in this video, is just covering the base of your pot with some simple, just normal table salt to cover just the base of the pot, and then you put your baking pan on top of that. So the baking pan, obviously it will have the cake batter in there, but make sure that your pot is like the bigger size so that your baking pan can fit snugly inside the pan, to give allowance as well for the heat to circulate around the pan and throughout the cake batter nicely. So we are going to go through that video where I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by the pan and the pot and how to place the table salt in there. So let's get right to that. Together with the oil and sugar, it gives this very light, fluffy, fluffed up mixture. We have whisked in everything. Now what we're going to do, what I love to do here on this part is to add both the lemon juice, the lemon essence, the lemon zest now into the mixture, and just mix it all up nicely. Oh, there's this very delicious lemony smell going on here. And notice that we have a bit left over, so I'm going to get my buttermilk, pour it into the bowl there with the bowl which had the lemon zest, lemon juice and lemon essence. I'm mixing it up just so that I can get all the lemon flavors there. I don't waste them. Okay, now it's time to fold in our dry ingredients together with the buttermilk. First we'll start with just pour a 1/3 part of the flour, and then we'll fold in, then round through the center, round through the center, round through the center. Mix until all the flour has been incorporated into the mixture, until you don't see any flour or streaks of flour. So mix until you are mixing all the flour. Get in the dry ingredients and do so until you don't see any flour that is not mixed. Once all the flour has been mixed, stop mixing, and then come in with your buttermilk and pour half of the buttermilk. Mix again until all the buttermilk has been incorporated nicely into the mixture here, into the batter. Mix until there are no streaks of buttermilk showing. Once it has all been mixed, after you have folded in the last part of the buttermilk and you see no streaks of buttermilk showing, once the buttermilk is well incorporated, we go in with the last part of our cake flour here. Pour it in there. Let's just wipe the surface here. And then we fold in the last part of the flour. We run in one direction and through the center. Have gentle hands. Be gentle with your cake batter. So once you have folded in the last part of the flour, it's nicely incorporated. You see the cake batter is looking really nice and creamy and light and floury. Before you pour the cake batter into the cake pan, we're going to check for the consistency. Okay, just scoop in the cake batter with a spoon and let it drop from the spoon. And as you're letting the cake batter drop from the spoon, just count 1, 2, 3. When the batter falls between the second or the third count, the batter is ready to pour in the pan. If it falls on the first count 1, that means it's still running. Just mix in for a few more minutes, like 2 minutes. Then do again, like 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. See, mine is falling on the second count. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So that means our batter is ready. It's falling on the second count. So it should fall between the second or the third count. Then we got our cake batter and just pour it into our lined pan. It's a really lovely batter. Lemon cake batter. It's going to give us that lovely, delicious, smooth, light, fluffy, delicious cake batter. So before we take our cake pan with the cake batter to the pot, we tap 3 times. So always tap your cake pan together with the cake batter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Like you just lift it and let it drop 3 times, just to kind of break off or release any of the big air pockets that are stuck in between the cake batter, so that you don't get big holes on your cake after it's baked. So this is why we just like 1, 2, 3, tap it 3 times, like lift and just let it drop 3 times. Do this before you even put your cake, whether it's in the oven or whether you are using the pot. Okay, so now we have tapped our cake batter or cake pan with the cake batter 3 times. It's time now to go to our pot and put it in there. Okay, so our pot has been heated up nicely. Getting my oven mitts there. Be careful when you open the lid, okay? Because now we're dealing with the heat. It's heating on medium heat, so I'm just going to so you can put your cake batter straight, the pan will sit on the salt. So I love just to get my cooling rack and just put it in there. I don't know, I just love it, but you can still put your pan straight on top of the salt. So I just get my cooling rack. It's just to help me so that when I lift it up after it's baked, then I can just lift to the cooling rack. But you just put on top of the salt like that, okay? Then cover it. So closing the pot with the lid, putting the lid on, is to trap in the heat, because just like in the oven, you don't open the oven door while it's baking, so that the temperature circulates and remains at that temperature and your cake bakes nicely and no heat will escape. So get your timer now, set your timer on 45 minutes. Then I'll come back here and check if it has baked thoroughly. If not, I'll leave it on. So the 45 minutes is over and there's still a bit of moisture there on my skewer. So you can leave your cake in there for another 15 minutes or so. So roughly the maximum time that you can leave, at least for an hour. So just leave it. I'm going to leave it there. Then I'll come and check the cake to see if it's fully baked. So once the skewer comes out clean when you poke the cake, that means then the cake is fully baked. But because there was a bit of some wet batter on the skewer still, I put on the lid, I covered the pot and let the cake bake for another 15 minutes. Then I'll come back and check. So I've got my skewer as well ready, and get your cooling rack ready for when the cake comes out of the pot. Okay, so 15 minutes is up. So let's check our cake, shall we? So let's open our pot here and let's get our skewer and just check if our cake is fully baked. As you can see, the skewer comes out clean. There's no wet batter in the cake, and you can see it's got this really lovely color. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cake out, put it on a cooling rack and let it cool for 10 minutes while it's still in the cake pan. And then I'll remove the cake after 10 minutes from the cake pan, and then I'll let it cool completely. Okay, so I've got my mini cooling rack there. So let me take out the pan with the oven mitts. Make sure you please protect your hands. Use your oven mitts when you're dealing with the heat to protect your hands. So I'm going to leave my cake here. As you can see, it's a really lovely lemon cake, and the color is just beautiful color. And you can see, so we're going to let it cool for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes we'll remove the cake from the pan, set it as well on the cooling rack to cool completely afterwards. And then after that we'll go to now preparing our lemon cake. All right, so let's leave it to cool for 10 minutes, and then after that I'll come and show you. And I'll show you when I now remove it from the cake pan, how just lining our cake pan, how it just comes out nicely from the cake pan. Then we'll leave it to cool completely after that, and then we'll chill it in the fridge. We store it nicely in the fridge, and then after that put the final touches to our lemon cake with our delicious creamy lemon curd and lemon flavored frosting to finish off our cake, and then we'll do the testing after that. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so let's wait and come back after 10 minutes. Now I like to cover my cake with a nice clean kitchen towel, so that it just cools normally, naturally. It's a nice, so all the steam will evaporate nicely as it cools nicely. Cake has been cooling for 10 minutes. Time to remove it from the pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my chopping board and I'll place it on top of the cake like this. Tilt it over. Okay. And then as you can see, the cake just slides nicely out of the cake pan. So I'm just going to remove the baking paper. Then I'll leave the cool just to completely cool on the cooling rack. So just carefully I'm removing the baking paper. So be careful when you remove the baking paper. Just carefully, just it doesn't take much effort really. So there it is, our cake. So we just then after you've removed it from the pan, just let it now to cool completely. So what I like to do is just to get again my clean cloth which I use for covering my cakes and just leave it there to just cool completely. When it's completely cooled, then you can cover it with your cling wrap or surface that it is, or cover it with cling wrap and chill it in the fridge so that next you can apply any frosting that you love on your cakes. So this is our lemon cake, and I will just slice it after I frost it so that you can see how nice it is. Okay, so our cake has been cooling in the fridge, so it has cooled nicely. So what I'm going to do is remove the cling wrap and proceed to frosting the cake. Just remove the cling wrap quickly. First, I'm just going to cut it in half. So I'm just going to use a cake slicer for now. Just cut it in half. So I've set it on the third groove. I just frosted with some lemon flavor frosting, and then the middle there as well, I just put in a layer of lemon curd. So let's slice it up. So I'll try to cut it into 4 equal pieces. There we go. Remove the cherry there. So I just put in some glazed cherries there. And I just want to show you a delicious lemon flavored cake. There it is, our delicious lemon oil cake, baked without an oven, just using our pot, and just so delicious. It smells so good with lemon flavored frosting, some lemon curd in the middle. Okay, let me just get a nice big fork here so I just can show you where there's extra. There's other ones there for family to enjoy, so let me just show you lemon curd, lemon frosting, delicious. So there you have it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed. They will enjoy this recipe, this lemon oil cake recipe, baked without an oven, just using a pot and some just normal table salt. Very delicious with lemon flavor frosting, some lemon curd, some lemon zest sprinkled there, and just the cherry on top. So hope you enjoyed. And check out the description for the lemon curd and the lemon flavored frosty, and also the recipe for this lemon oil cake. I also add it in the description box. So subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with all your friends, family members, and other home bakers would really enjoy this. So thank you. So thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video. So let's enjoy. See you in the next video. Bye.